Well, hello, friends. This is Kimberly. It's episode 338, and I'm so glad that you are here today. I have a very special guest on the show. Her name is Juli, and she is an integrative health practitioner. And she has gone on her own health journey and is now sharing it all with you. She knows all about peptide and GLP-1s and all the things. I think we've all had a lot of questions and maybe a lot of hesitancy to use anything like this because we're afraid to put things in our body and we don't want to screw something else up, right? And we don't want to put anything poison or bad for us in our bodies. But let's face it, we want to feel better. We want to feel rejuvenated and energetic and sleep well and all the things. So Juli and I talk about this. I ask all the questions too. So you're going to learn so much in this episode. She is wonderful and kind and is literally just out to help people like us who want to optimize our health, especially during midlife. Now, let me say, first of all, that all of her information is down below. We've got her website, her Instagram, and her free peptide guide that she talks about in this episode because there's so many types of peptides. I didn't even realize how many there were. And she talks about it. So she's got a great free guide for you. So if you just click one of the links below, you'll see it down there and it'll take you to her website. You'll enter your email and boom, you'll get it on email and you can print it out and all that good stuff. So I'm so glad you're here. Also, too, if you are a first time listener, welcome. I'm so thankful that you found this podcast because I have no doubt that it's going to motivate you, inspire you, and get you moving, whether you're trying to improve your health, like with this episode, or trying to turn your passion into a new business or career or whatever it may be. Y'all know I have been talking about, turning your passion into a business for a very long time. But I want to open up this conversation to realize that so many of us walk around with that tug at our soul, knowing that there's something more for us. Again, whether it's with your health, with your business, with your career, whatever it may be, and that it's time to get moving and it doesn't have to be as scary or hard as you think. So make sure you hit follow if you are in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever player you're in, because you don't want to miss out on any future episodes. I do offer help for building a business, doing what you love, and have all kinds of free guides and checklists myself on the website and offer one-on-one coaching. So make sure you check those out at KimberlyBrock.com. All the links are down below. Okay, that's it. On to the episode. Juli, I am so excited to have you on the show today. I've been waiting for this because I know we're going to have so much fun. We're going to laugh and we're going to talk about peptides and GLP-1s and all the stuff that we are confused about. So Juli, I'm so happy that you're here. Welcome.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. It is a pleasure and an honor, and it's so good to see your face too.
Being old friends from Colorado, this is amazing getting to catch up virtually. So
yes,
I know so many women are struggling during midlife. I know you call it the midlife madness.
For the midlife
And
madness.
yes, that's what it is. It's a crazy time. And I just want you to share about what is this midlife madness that you talk about all the time?
I just basically talk about all the things that I went through. I went through it at a very early age because I had a hysterectomy due to endometriosis. So I have been dealing with the balancing of the hormones and the inflammation and endometriosis since I was probably 36, 38 years old. Multiple surgeries, finally went in for a hysterectomy at the age of 43, which put me into medical menopause.
I mean, it's just crazy. Not to interrupt you, but my guest last week, this is what happened to her. Was she late in her 40s, but she had to go through medical menopause. I've never really heard that term, but it's like when you're just thrown into it from a surgery.
You're thrown into it. I mean, it's like, here you go. Like you wake up, you're sweaty. I would wake up with my pajamas soaking wet. I'm like, okay, I know what a hot flash is now. It was like amplified times 100. But then that slowly diminishes because, until I started utilizing some HRT. And I've done multiple methods of HRT. And I like to tell my clients now that you have to really be patient with it.
Mm-hmm.
And give your body a chance to adapt to those new signals because a lot of people just want a quick fix and sometimes it's not always a quick fix.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've got a story to share and we're excited to hear about that and your journey of being thrust into this vortex. of menopause at such a young age. For any of you listening, whether you've gone through menopause or not, this is fantastic information, and you're going to learn so much from Julie because she has dealt with it in her own experience and has so much knowledge to share. So I thought what we would do kind of at the very beginning is just like set the stage. You just mentioned HRT. Some people may not know what that is. What is that? Define that and peptides and GLP-1s. If you could just do like a quick definition for those of us that may not know what that is.
Okay, so I call it midlife madness. And when we are in the throes of midlife madness, there are several tools that we can utilize to help that transition be smoother. So HRT is hormone replacement therapy, and it can be scary for a lot of women because there was a lot of information out there back, say, when our moms were given
Mm-hmm.
hormones, but it is
Mm-hmm.
different now.
Mm-hmm.
And they are bioidentical to what your body already makes. So these aren't synthetic hormones that you're putting inside.
Mm.
So there are different methods of it, whether it's troche, patch for estrogen, creams. Women do pellets. I have a story for that. That's a whole nother podcast. And then peptides are another tool that we can utilize to help with that stubborn weight that just
Mm.
doesn't seem to go away when you're going through all these changes. So it's just something that I like to tell people that, our biology starts to shift when we're going through these changes, and the peptides just kind of help send signals to those cells that are inside of our body to help them start working again properly.
Okay. Okay. And then GLP-1, we hear that. What is that?
So it's a glucagon like peptide. It's something your body already makes. And as we age, it isn't produced as much because we're exposed to environmental toxins. It's produced inside your gut. So if you
Okay.
are, we feed our gut good and bad things. We're exposed to environmental toxins, multiple surgeries that women have to go through when you're taking antibiotics. I mean, all of that stuff affects your gut. And then when you have the hormones come in and that they're all off balance, that disrupts your microbiome as well. So the GLP-1 is helping women just at like a micro protocol, or we call it microdose. That can just help get rid of some of that inflammation and that stubborn weight that doesn't come off. And when you're trying all the things, like I was working out, eating all the healthy foods, doing every single diet imaginable. I mean, fasting. And I've always been in the fitness industry. Like I was a CrossFit athlete. The exercise is not a problem for me. The food noise is another story. I've counted macros, but it was like it also helps to quiet that food noise, and because it sends the peptide sends a signal to your brain to say, you know what, I'm full now, because we lose a lot of those signals too as we're going through those
Mm.
changes.
Wow. Wow. So you were doing all the things, like you said, counting macros, you were doing CrossFit and all the things, but you still weren't feeling optimal.
No.
Is that fair to
Yeah.
say? Yeah, we're not feeling good. And so then when all of these have just like suddenly come to market. I mean, you know the phrase that there's no magic pill. And then I feel like in the last, whatever, year, 2 years, I feel like, is this a magic pill? Like, did this actually happen? And what's your take on that? Because there was never a great solution. I can't even believe that there's something that can help people like this.
So peptides have been around for a very long time. Insulin was the first
Okay.
peptide. Okay. So, and
Okay.
then the GLP-1 or weight loss peptides have been around for over 20 years and have been studied. So, do I think of it as a magic pill? No, I view it as
Okay.
another tool in my toolbox. Does it work and give good results? Yes, but there are caveats. Like you need to make sure your foundations are in check. You want to, have good gut health. And sometimes it takes a GLP-1 or like BPC 157, which is body protection compound, to kind of help get that gut healing, but you also have to do the work along with them. So it's not like,
Okay.
I think a lot of the misinformation out there with these, because, everyone's heard of the name brand peptides, which are the pharmaceutical ones. Ozempic,
Mm.
Wegovy, those start at a different dose than the microdose protocol. So you're getting it
Okay.
in a smaller amount. And they're just given that and then not told anything else to do along with it. And so
Mm.
then they're having these side effects and, you know, they're dosed too much. Like
Right.
the the doctors need to be monitoring that more.
Yeah, it's so true. It's crazy that it's been around so long and it's just now coming to light that it can help people. Like, I wonder what happened that all of a sudden this just became known and everywhere when
It's
it's
like
been around for a long time.
they opened up a little box of secrets or something.
I know. I mean, what the heck? Like,
Well,
it's crazy to me.
and I started researching peptides back in 2022. So I got Epstein-Barr
Mhm.
virus, which is mono. And as an adult, that's not fun because, when you get sick with something as an adult, like, say, have you gotten strep throat before? Like, if you get it when you're older, it's like you feel like you can't fight it as well. My
Right.
immune system was just tanking. I was going through a really hard time with the loss of my mom. We had moved, we built a house, getting kids off to college, and it was like crazy. And I got so sick. And so I
Mm.
was like, my gut was a mess and I would get heartburn really bad. And so my doctor had mentioned to me about the GLP-1 before, and I told him I wasn't ready for that because I can do this on my own. Like, I know I need 20 pounds to lose, but I'm going to do it on my own. I don't need that.
Right.
But then,
Right.
so when I was researching the GLP-1, I started learning about BPC 157, which stands for body protection compound. And that is also something else we make inside our body. And
Mm.
I
Mm.
asked my doctor if he could get me the peptide for that. So he got it from a compounding pharmacy, and I took that for a good 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. And I'm telling you, it transformed. Like, my gut had never felt better in my entire life.
What? What?
I
No,
mean,
that is
TMI,
crazy.
but I
Yeah.
was like gassy, the gassy gal. My poor
And
husband.
it literally yeah, your poor husband and your family and everyone. But like, literally, you could tell that immediately changed it. What do you mean that it changed you? Like, what do you mean? What was the results like? Stop the gassiness, made you more regular?
Because what it
What is it?
does is it goes in and it helps heal and seal the lining of the gut. So it repairs the tissues in there to help with that microbiome. Of course, I was doing some other things with it, like some of my supplements that I take and just trying to be mindful of what I was putting in my body. But, we go like 30, 40 years of putting stuff in your body that probably you shouldn't, like in college days, and all the
Right,
things
right.
start catching up. I went
Yes.
like pretty low tox back in 2018 too, after I had my diagnosis of endometriosis, because I learned that a lot of the stuff that we use in our home every day can amplify that, and it
And
affects
so
our
you started
hormones.
just changing things in your home? Like, what kinds of things?
My laundry detergent, my cleaners, I had those plugins everywhere in my house, from Bath and Body Works, sprays, just the fake fragrance that's in all of that can disrupt your hormones and your endocrine system. And I have a daughter with type 1
Wow.
diabetes, and I had,
Mm.
all 4 teenagers at the time. And I was like, you know what? Their hormones are changing right now, and I don't want to be contributing to that. So I just overhauled my entire home.
You did. I mean, literally? Like, did you literally just get every
But yeah,
single thing out?
Joe came home one day and I had every single cleaner, laundry detergent plug-in on the island. And he was like, "What are you doing?" I go, "It's all bad. We're gonna die. I'm getting rid of it." I went like all in. Like
The
some
end,
people,
the apocalypse.
yeah, I'm like all or nothing. I was like, I have to just get this out of the house because I'm
Right.
doing this essential oil thing now, and I'm gonna be like a witch doctor, you know. Not so much, but that was the
Yes.
start of my
Yes.
holistic journey. And I think it takes like something like not feeling good and wondering why is this happening to me? For people to kind of start searching for that, because I just was searching
Yes.
for answers.
So what were the things that you tried to do before you did the HRT and the peptides?
Mhm.
What were you trying to do? Because this may be relatable to my listeners who are on a journey themselves and trying to figure out, like, they know they don't feel good, or maybe they're not having the results working out, or whatever it is. They feel kind of up and down with their emotions. What did you try first? What were you trying? And then when you found the peptides and all that, some of the problems were solved. But
I just
just
tried to replace anything in our home that was like a Band-Aid for an ailment with a natural and holistic remedy, and
okay.
they worked, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, wow." And, sometimes it would take a couple days longer, but, like, say, for instance, if my kids, when they got sick or came down with a bug, instead of giving them Tylenol, I kinda just, like, let them sweat it out and gave them essential oils, and then just pumped them full of, like, zinc, vitamin C, vitamin D, oregano oil, and it worked. Now, I'm not saying to not ever give medicine, because I think there is a time
Right.
and place for it,
Yes.
but we kinda just went the natural route, and I started doing castor oil packs, like, to detox my
Mm.
liver, because a lot of stuff can get stored in your liver and then recirculate into the body. So that's
Yes. So
another.
what were you yeah. So what were you doing, like, for your workouts and for your eating when you were trying to feel better?
At the time, I was still trying to go hard on my workouts, and it took me a
Okay.
long time to come to the realization that hormonally, until my body was in a safe spot to receive that I need to just slow it down.
Mm.
So I stopped doing a lot of the HIIT workouts. I stopped doing a lot of excessive cardio, and I did more hiking and weightlifting in my, gym. I did a lot of sauna and some sauna workouts. But I tried to just stay in like a fat burning zone instead of just ramping the intensity up.
Yeah, I think that's hard. I mean, I come from that school of thought too, where I wasn't doing CrossFit, but I was doing Orange Theory and all these things, and I was doing HIIT. Everyone was talking about HIIT. That's how you can do it in less time,
Yeah,
and you spend 20 minutes, and you can burn all these calories, and you can burn fat, and and 2022, I got COVID, and then my life drastically changed, and I was forced to stop all of that. But it's been amazing because I actually lost some of the weight that I've gained since then when I could never lose weight, and all I do is
right,
walk and have been trying to start weights again. But it's fascinating to me because the paradigm of the past is no longer, and, like, also too because of our age. It's like we can't do the
right.
same stuff. We don't realize it's hurting us. So you came from the CrossFit mentality where it's like push and keep trying to, do the max weights. And so you had to shift from that way of thinking and you started seeing, like, this just isn't working, and started
Yeah,
something new. And
and I'm not saying it's bad for everybody, because there are a lot of really good athletes out there in the masters division that feel great, look great, I tell people everyone's biology is different too. We all have
yes.
different genes and a genetic makeup. I've actually done genetic testing and have found that some of my genes just are a little more sensitive to, fragrance. I have histamine issues and just like intense exercise because of our bodies. But like you said, you kind of have to change that way of thinking, because we're not the same right now as we were in our 30s, even though we like to think we are.
Right.
They
Right.
all of that hormonal shift just can really affect your nervous system, and until you have like your diet in check and your nervous system under control, that's when, you're ready
Right.
to maybe ramp it up again, but
Okay.
not
So when you
crazy.
yes, but not go too overboard. So when you say diet in check, what does that mean?
For me, diet in check is just trying to eat more whole foods. Like, if it has more than 5 ingredients in it, I turn away from it. I mean, not 5, but I just try, like, Joe and I really enjoy just cooking at home now, because
Right.
I don't know
Yep.
what I'm gonna get out at a restaurant, am I gonna leave feeling sick? Am I gonna be
Right.
stuffy nose? Am I gonna have
Right.
gas? Like,
Right.
on the way home. And then Joe's like, nope, guess I'm not getting lucky tonight. She's got a stomach ache again.
It used to be the headache. Now it's the stomach.
Yeah, that's the stomach ache and the bloating. And I take digestive enzymes for that purpose when I go out to dinner because I know they help, and that's another tool in our toolbox that
Mm.
I give to women too, and I walk along with that when I'm doing, their protocols.
Right, 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 right. Okay. So what do you believe right now about diet? Just whole foods as much as you can, least amount of added ingredients. What about the whole no carb, low
We need
carb? Like what?
carbs. Women need
Okay.
carbs.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is what I'm hearing. As I said, my guest last time she was talking
Now,
about the same thing. That
carbs, not donuts.
right,
Like, I'm
right,
talking
right,
sweet potatoes, your good, healthy carbs that are gonna sustain your blood sugar for a long period of time, not the
right.
quick carbs. Now, do I
Yes. So
still
what?
enjoy quick carbs every now and again? Yes, I'm human, and there are things that sound good, and I will eat them, and then I
Yeah.
reap the
And you,
consequences.
yeah. I mean, it's so true. But it's hard. I mean, it's hard. Like our brain, like the manufacturers who make all the manufactured food, they tweak it just so that we are addicted to it. And so it's so hard because people beat themselves up like, "I don't have self-control.
Right.
I don't know how to stop eating," when it's actually been made. I mean, they have a satiety point or something. I've read some things on that, and
Right.
they tweak it literally perfectly so that we're
The
addicted.
ingredients so that it tricks your brain
Yes,
and you want more of it.
I
I tell
know,
my
and with
kids that with fast food all the time. I'm like, "You have to stop eating fast food."
so hard, but then people often also get lazy and they don't wanna cook their own food. Probably young
Well, and
people
there is
have
a
a harder time.
convenience factor, and I also try to teach women how to order off of a fast food menu so that,
Mhm.
when you do have those times and you're out with kids and you're at sporting events or, you can make better choices when you're eating out.
Right.
Protein,
Right, you
get in the protein always. And the
right,
fiber, I mean, if you
right.
prioritize those two things, you're golden.
You're golden. Well, I'm interested to hear, like, kind of your before and after before you got on peptides and how this really changed you and helped you, like, where you went from, like, where you started at and the moment you then started these peptides and everything and where you are today.
Well, in 2022, like I said, my doctor suggested it and I didn't listen to him because I was like, no, I don't need a weight
Oh,
loss drug. Hmm.
your doctor suggested it.
Yeah,
Interesting.
my hormone
Okay.
doctor. He introduced
Okay.
me to it. He just said, "Well, you could do these peptides and they help with weight loss." And I'm like, "I don't need a weight loss drug." I mean, I
Right.
just wanted to lose
Right.
20 pounds. I felt like a weight loss drug was for someone who needed to lose like a ton of
You're
weight,
right.
wasn't
Right.
healthy.
Right.
And then I also was very mindful of what I was putting in my body. Like
Yes.
I didn't want
Yes.
to inject anything into my body that I didn't know what it was going to
Right.
do.
Right.
So I started listening to some podcasts on it and I kept
Mhm.
hearing about it more and more. And I just was like, why am I not looking more into this? And then I had a girlfriend of mine actually went to a doctor where she was monitored because the only thing I kept hearing was people were on it and they were getting like super thin. They had diarrhea, like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
gastric
Yeah, yeah,
stuff
yes.
because they were just being overprescribed. But she goes, "This lady's great. She walks you through it." My whole thing was I didn't want to lose a bunch of muscle or bone
Right.
because we need that.
Right. Right.
You know,
Yes.
I mean, I watched my mom get really, really frail. She had Parkinson's, and I know that if she would have been a little heavier before she got diagnosed and everything, or had the muscle on her, it could have been I'm h I'm thinking the longevity would have been she might have lived a
Yes,
little
there might
bit.
have
Yeah,
given her a little more time.
a little
Yeah.
more time just to help her, like, utilize her body better because we need the muscles and the bone density.
Right.
So, she had told me that, she was doing just a micro protocol and she was losing, like, a pound or 2 every couple weeks, and I was like, "Wow, okay." And so I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna tell," and I told Joe, but I kinda didn't really talk about it with a lot of people because I felt like there was a stigma on it because I was a
Mhm.
health practitioner, like getting my
Mm.
certification
Right.
for integrative health
Right.
practitioner. I'm supposed to do everything holistic but
Right.
I feel
Right.
like peptides are holistic and can be considered a holistic avenue because it's something that your body already makes. You're just putting that in to turn those signals on. So I did that for about a year. Yeah, because she wanted me to go off of it after a year, and I was getting ready to go on a trip last summer, and I didn't wanna have to
Right.
be dealing with all of that.
Right.
And so
Right.
I gave my body a break, and you can do something called cycling on and off peptides. So I cycled off
Mm.
of it. I did
Okay.
gain a little bit of weight back, but it's normal once you go off to gain probably about 5 pounds back is what my doctor told me, and then I
Mm.
sustained it for
Mm.
quite a bit. But then I came across this telehealth company, and they were talking about peptides and how I could utilize it with my clients. And so that was
Mm.
very exciting. And so I
Yes.
decided to start
Yes.
dabbling in different peptides. And then I started microdosing again just because it made me feel so good. The food noise is gone, the inflammation is gone. I feel better in my body. I feel better in my clothes. I mean, just all
Mm.
around. It gives you a confidence boost too.
Yeah, we definitely need that in midlife because it's just like us on camera. We've been like, oh my gosh, our wrinkles. And like, you can just see, like, our bodies are aging and it's real and we have
Right.
to face the fact. This is what it is, but we have to own it and be happy where we are. I'm happy I'm this age. It's better than the alternative of not being here. Right.
Right.
But so you said, okay, wait, let me think what you said. You said you feel better in your clothes. Oh, your inflammation is down. How do you know your inflammation is down? How
I do
how do we
lab
gauge that?
testing, so that's another reason why I went to this certain place is they check all your markers, and another reason why I partnered with the telehealth company that I partnered with is because, A, the peptides all come from a 503A compounding pharmacy that's FDA approved, so there's oversight there. The peptides are triple purified, and there's doctor oversight. So you go on and you
Yes.
fill out
Yes.
a health questionnaire to approve you for the peptide that you want that you order. Data from labs, lab
Yes.
testing.
Yes. So you can order labs for your clients and you can read the labs.
Correct. Yes.
Yes.
They're at
Okay.
they're
Okay.
at
So
home
that's awesome.
labs, so it's a little
Okay.
different than, like, say, going to Quest or LabCorp. I can also request labs through Quest, but the lab that I partner with has at-home lab testing, so it's through blood spot tests, urine, feces, believe it or not, for like a stool test, and,
Mhm.
did I say urine already? And saliva.
And saliva. Okay. Gosh, that's so interesting. So you can get all that and not even have an actual blood test? Like you can do or you can do some of them make you take your own blood?
You can poke your finger like a blood test for a food
Oh, okay.
sensitivity test, and then we have a hormone panel that we'll do a finger prick on, but that's also saliva-based too, because there's 2 different kinds of ways you can test your hormones, via blood,
Okay.
via saliva.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, that's awesome. So when you're talking about the peptides, what kind of peptide? You mentioned the BPC 157.
Mhm.
And then I know how many more are there? Or how many do you
Oh my
deal with?
gosh,
Or
there's a lot.
there is.
I
Okay.
think a lot of the popular ones are the GLP-1 GIP, and then so the BPC 157, TB 500, and then a lot of women are loving the GHK-Cu. That's the glow peptide. So that's gonna do all things skin, hair, nails, collagen. So a lot of midlife ladies like that, and they like to pair it with the BPC 157, TB 500, and they call it the glow stack. So
So they're called stacks.
they're called
Like your
stacks.
stack of
I got my stack of peptides.
Well, I know it's funny because, like, in business, a lot of entrepreneurs say, "What's your tech stack?" And it's like, "Oh, I use this software,
Oh my
I use
gosh.
that," and you have your whole stack of software
Oh,
and apps that you use. So, but this is now I'm thinking, "Oh my gosh, now this is your, like, peptide stack." So you have to actually self-inject
self
these
and well,
peptides.
some are sublingual
What
drops.
does that mean?
Um,
Okay.
It just
drops?
means it's like a drop that you can put under your tongue, and some are in
Right.
oral form, a pill. I know our
Okay.
company has the pill form of BPC 157, TB 500, and
Okay.
those 2 paired together work incredible. A lot of
Okay.
people will just take the BPC 157, but what they don't realize is the TB 500 is gonna be your immune modulator, and when your gut is trying to repair, it needs the immune modulator to have work on your immune system as well.
Okay, and side question. So I have a daughter that's a older teen. Can they take any of these? Maybe not the GLP-1s, but the ones for your gut that you're talking about, and these are not?
I haven't really gone down that avenue yet because
Okay.
they're young and they still have those peptides running through their body. Like,
Mm, mm,
their body's making them. But I think how old are we talking? Like, over 18?
like 17. Yeah, 17.
Yeah, I would probably wait until they're a
Okay.
little bit older, but
Okay.
that's just my personal preference.
Okay. Okay. So just wait. So this is more for adults, obviously, but really
Young
helpful
adults
for those of
too.
us. Yeah, and those of us in our midlife, especially. So you're saying there's so many, and actually, you do offer a free guide. Is that correct? That helps
I
you kind of
do. I
navigate
It's
which these
called a
are.
it's called a peptide playbook because I know it can be so overwhelming learning about all of them, and so it just goes in and explains the different types of peptides, what they do for the body, how they work, what you can do along with it
Hmm.
to, you know, be more successful on your journey, and that's where I come in
Yes.
too, is I kinda
Okay.
help guide people along with that. I have guides that I send people to once they are on the peptides,
Right.
and that's another
So
thing
they
that I offer my clients.
That's awesome. So I'm going to put the link down below so y'all can get it. It's a free guide. I would totally take advantage of this.
Yeah.
I need to get it because I would love to hear about these peptides. I think they sound amazing. Now, I haven't known a ton about it, but I will say for anyone that's on certain medications, you do need to check with your doctor,
Always.
obviously.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. Because I actually asked about the BPC 157, and my rheumatologist was like, "Oh, I think it'd be I mean, you can try it. I don't know that much about it." But then when the provider wanted to, like, get an official note that my rheumatologist said it was okay, then she wasn't willing to give a letter saying, "I totally clear her, that she's gonna be fine if she takes it," because she didn't know, and I don't know if that's an issue with some of the traditional by the book doctors, and I love mine, and I understand where she's coming from. She doesn't wanna be liable, but
Right.
I guess there can be interactions because this is new. So if you are on some type of medication, everyone make sure with your doctor as well,
For
your
sure.
official doctor on that. Yeah, so but you can get the free playbook down below, read about the peptides. I think they've helped so many. I know a lot of people that are on different variations of these. I don't know about the stack though. The stack sounds really cool. I don't know why that just sounds like fun. You're like,
Ye
"Oh, okay, I wanna do this. I want better skin. I
Yeah,
want."
and but you could get carried away and it can be
Yeah,
overwhelming.
yeah,
I always
yeah.
tell the people that I work with to try one at a time so that you know if you're gonna be reactive to it.
Oh, that's smart.
Um,
Yeah.
and then I also say, you know what? The thing about these peptides and injecting it yourself, this is what I love about the peptides versus conventional medication is I'm in charge of how much I am allowing my body to get of it.
Yes. Yes.
And,
Yes.
I've had a couple of episodes where I'm like, "Oh gosh, I think I put way too much in." And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just have to do like a full body scan when I wake up in the morning. How did I sleep? That is my first reference point. Like, how was my sleep on this new peptide? And how do I feel? Do I have any new anxiety? How does my gut feel? Like,
Mm,
I just kind of have to read all of that. And then it helps me dictate, okay, if I wasn't feeling great, I'll be like, maybe I need to pull back a little bit. But it doesn't
yeah.
mean that the peptides don't work and they're not bad. It's just you have to find that right little range that's good for you.
Mhm. 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 Wow. I know there's just so much information out there, and you do see, like, I will say as far as the GLP-1s are concerned, you see people around that have the quote Ozempic face, and it breaks my heart. It
Yeah,
literally, I'm not even kidding. It makes me sad because I'm like, they don't even see that they've
no,
gotten way too skinny. They don't look good. They lost their face plumpness. You know what I'm saying? Like you actually look older sometimes when your face is too thin.
100%.
Yeah, don't you think you? And I'm like, how do they not see it? That
And
just trying to be thin.
that's just going overboard on it, in my opinion, and I don't think
Yes.
that that's a great example for this younger generation either. I wanna
No.
teach these women to be strong. Like, strong is the new skinny. I'm sorry, but I think
Right.
being too
Right.
skinny is way out, so
It's way out. It's
and
not
I'm
good.
all about the
Okay.
trends. I'm kidding. I
Well,
am
when
so
you
not
say
trendy.
I know, I'm like, I'm always, my kids joke, "You're a boomer." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not actually a boomer." But
What?
you know what? We are starting to not be in tune with everything going on.
Yeah.
But when you talk about microdosing, what
Mhm.
actually does that mean? Like, what would be you said it's just a
Okay.
fraction or something. I would love to hear, like, what is this actually?
So microdosing is anything under like the 2.5 milligram range. So that would be for the GLP-1, GIP. So, I mean, there's people that start out at just like 1 milligram or even half of a milligram. Some women don't even have weight to lose and they will just do a tiny bit and it's helping them with things like hot flashes and just, some of the nuances that come along with going through perimenopause and menopause. So
Wow.
they're
What?
finding
Okay,
that
wait.
they're
So
doing studies that it's helping with PCOS, endometriosis, because what it does is it brings down inflammation in your body. Inflammation leads to chronic disease, inflammation and leaky gut leads to autoimmune diseases. And so it's just a way of helping to repair.
repair that. Okay. So you said for someone that's getting prescribed GLP-1, like for someone who's is it for diabetics or
To
people
type 2 diabetic,
why
I
are
think
those
it's
prescribed? Type 2 diabetic. Okay. Okay. So they would start out at what'd you say, 0.25, 2.5? I can't remember what you
It's 2
said.
I think it's 2.5 if I am correct. 2.5 is the starting dose for the pharmaceutical ones, and the reason
Okay.
and that's because, when you have a pharmaceutical drug, they've done all the studies, and so and then they have a protocol and they increase it, and it's in a pen where you can't inject it from a vial yourself. So you're getting
So you
that
have okay. So you have a
all in
set
one.
amount. You have a pen that's injected for the people that have type 2 diabetes, they would start at that. But you're saying that the women that you've worked with and for yourself, you can take like if it was 2.5, you're saying you can take how little to have it be
Oh,
effective?
half of that, 1 milligram or
So
less.
like, okay. Okay, or less than that or
Teeny tiny doses. There's women that
wow.
that are super lean and they just keep doing it at a microdose just to help with the food noise. And then prioritizing all of their macronutrients, getting that in and feeding their
Yes.
muscles and they look great. They look great and they feel great.
Wow. So that's interesting. So people that are already at a weight that they are happy with can just fine tune things by this, that's what it sounds like you're saying. Like
Yeah,
fine tune it with a very small dose, but then still be mindful of, like you said, eating the protein and the carbs and still working out. And how important is it that we lift weights and that we keep up our strength?
like I will die on that hill. Do it. 3 to 4
Okay.
days a week, women should be lifting weights.
And what do you mean by weights? Like
I
how
mean like
heavy?
dumbbells, like go heavy. Go heavier than you think you can go.
Like what do you mean? Like 15-pound, 20,
Yes.
30,
Yeah, girl.
whatever?
Yeah, whatever that booty can squat and just keep going up. I
Just
think
keep
women
going.
have this fear that they're gonna get bulky. Girl, I I'm trying to build muscle right now, and I'm lifting heavy in my eyes right now, trying to get, heavier, and I'm not bulking by any means. So they need to get that out of their head, you know. Pilates is great for leaning out, like lengthening the muscles, but you still need to do the weightlifting for your bone density, and plus all the muscle helps burn the fat faster too.
Mhm. Now, I'd heard that the GLP-1s, the reason why people got the Ozempic face and all that, number one, they're losing fat too fast, and that's why their face
Well, they're
did
losing
that,
muscle too
but they're losing muscle,
because
right?
they're not
And
eating enough.
so you're saying there is a way to do it where you do it in a very small controlled amount that you
Mhm.
can inject yourself and you can kind of feel where this is going instead of taking that standard pharmaceutical dose.
Correct.
And you're saying it can help us feel better, stop the food noise, and then other peptides as well on top of it that help with inflammation and all this stuff. Am I hearing this
Yes,
right?
and in fact, I just started a new one last week that came out. It came out with our company. It's called Mott's C, and it helps your mitochondria and it helps burn fat and turn that into energy. So
Interesting. So you're like a guinea pig? You're your own guinea
I
pig on
am my
this?
own guinea pig, but it's only a 3-day-a-week injection, so it's
Oh,
not like I'm poking
wait,
myself all the time.
3-day a week
3 times,
injections.
3 times. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
You have to inject. You have to like get out your how many are okay, is it all mixed in what is your stack?
It's
Oh,
no, they're different. So I've got different vials. I'm on different ones at different times.
oh,
Like
okay.
I said, I'd like to introduce them one at a time. So I get used to that one peptide and then I'll introduce another one, within like a month or so.
Okay.
But yeah, it can get overwhelming, but
I mean, it's a
I'm
lot.
here for it. I'm here
You're
for the I want to feel optimal. I want to feel good and I do feel good. Like I was telling Joe, I feel better now than I did in my 30s.
what?
Yes.
What a testament. That's amazing.
I mean, the
And who knew?
energy is on high. Sorry, my headphones
Yeah,
just
no.
flipped out.
But I think about like when we were young, I mean, I'm a little older than you, but just like our parents, like when they hit like 50, wait, how old are you?
I'm 50, girl. I just
You're
celebrated
50.
this
Okay, so
summer.
I'm 53, so I'm just a little bit older. Not we're basically the same age.
We're the
So, but I'm
same.
just thinking
We are
we're
the
the
same.
same, but I'm thinking about our parents like when they turned 50.
Oh my gosh, they were so old.
They were over the hill at 40. Wasn't it 40 was over
Yes.
the hill?
The Golden Girls were in their 50s. I'm like, I do not
No,
look
they
like a
weren't.
golden. I thought
What?
they were.
Were
I thought,
they?
yeah.
I think you're right. Wait, what? And they looked like what people look in their 80s now.
Oh my gosh. I have a funny story. I went to order a birthday, like, the big bulk 50th birthday
Yes.
package on Amazon. And when I was looking on there, the lady that was turning 50 had short gray hair and looked
Stop
like
it.
she was
Stop.
in her 70s. I'm like, that is not 50. I wanted to write
That is
Amazon.
not. Yeah, I think you should write
I am.
Amazon. I
I'm
think
like,
you
put my
should.
picture on there. But wait, like,
What?
get rid of that because I don't do
I know.
Botox
Can we get rid
anymore.
of our Yeah, speaking of Botox, what do you think of that?
It's not for me. I I did try it in my 40s, like probably around 38 or
Yeah.
something, because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting wrinkles. I'm not
Right.
supposed to have
Right.
wrinkles. No one's supposed to have
Right.
wrinkles. And then after all of my health stuff, and I just decided I didn't want to get it anymore because Botox is not a peptide. Botox is a neurotoxin. So I don't need anything disrupting my brain health because
Well, I know, and
midlife,
it's scary.
yeah,
Yeah, I've gotten it a few times, like, after I had let's see, after I started having all these problems after COVID, which my ANA was always positive, which is like you have some kind of autoimmune process going on,
right.
and I got it a few times, and I kept trying to then I would not feel good, and I'm like, "Is this correlated?" Because it wasn't directly after I got it, but maybe, like, a week or 2, but I didn't know if that was a natural, like, waning like, there's this whole cycle when you have an autoimmune, you'll feel good, then you'll not feel
Right.
good, then you'll and I was like, "Is this directed to that?" But I haven't gotten it in a while, and I haven't had any major lows, and I
And
just keep wondering now if that was bad. I haven't that's why I'm like, I don't know that I wanna get it anymore, ever.
yeah,
Like,
and we all
I don't
are
know, we'll
different.
see.
Some women feel fine on it and they probably won't ever have
Right,
problems,
right,
right? Because
right.
we're all bio individuals. That's what I tell my clients.
Mm, yeah.
Um, my autoimmune history, it's not a good fit for me. My mom having Parkinson's, so neurological. brain health.
Mm,
I don't
mm,
want to be, putting something in my body that might affect that.
right,
I will say that HRT helps with your brain health. So that's another reason why I recommend that for women, based on their symptoms and their labs, of course.
right,
Um, because we need the estrogen for in our brain. You have estrogen
right,
receptors all throughout your entire body.
right. So when we hear HRT, I know it's like hormone replacement therapy.
Yep.
What hormones are those? Estrogen, progesterone, what else? What is
DH,
involved in that?
DHEA,
Mm,
testosterone,
mm,
pregnenolone,
mm. I know my DHEA is low.
thyroid. That's adrenal, but it's all
That's
connected. It's
adrenal.
all connected. Like your
Yes.
cortisol, your vitamin
Yes.
D is a hormone. A lot of
Yes.
women will just have low vitamin D levels, and you tweak that,
Yes.
and they feel so much
Yes.
better
Yes.
already.
Yes. Yes. I agree. And magnesium too. Sometimes people feel better on that
And
as
then
or sleep better.
omega 3s
Omega
really help.
3s, which I need to take
Yes, you
because
do, girl.
and you said for me to get a high quality one. What do you where do I get a high quality?
I think any orthomolecular type of supplement is good. You want to make sure your supplements are third party tested, non GMO. There's a lot of talk right now about getting supplements from Amazon and because they can kind of switch out the labels and it's too hard to man if you're really getting
Mm,
that from that company.
mm,
Yeah, they're being tricksters. So I always refer people to my Full Scripts account, like I'll put a little supplement stack in there for them, or I also have a supplement company that I've partnered with that has
mm.
really good clean supplement. Because you want to make sure your
So
body's absorbing the supplement,
right.
and
Exactly.
it depends on what type of form you're given.
Speaking of tech stack for your business, I would love for you just
My
to share
gosh.
quickly. You don't have to like I know people are like, "Oh my gosh." But I want to just hear like, this podcast has existed to encourage everyone who is turning a passion or a calling that they
Love
have,
it.
something they feel they need to be doing into a business or even a career. I have people that follow me that are just in careers or they're thinking about starting a business, whatever it is. Like you are going to pursue it. And that's why this podcast has existed for so long. We're 6 years in now and it's
I
still
love
going
it.
strong. I know it's awesome. It's such a blessing. But what I want to know from you is like, what did you do? Because I think there's a lot of people listening that may have a passion, say it's for health or whatever it is in their life, but they've been too scared to get started. They felt too old. They don't know what to do.
Still
And what
scared.
advice? Yeah, I know we all are. We all are at times. Like, I mean, we do. But like, what did you do in the very beginning? Like, where did you have a moment where you were like, I'm doing this?
I
What
did.
happened?
I had a moment that and I don't want to get emotional here, but I was like, "Ugh, my last one is leaving the house.
Yeah.
What am I going
Yeah.
to
I've
do?
been
I've
through that.
spent my
Yes.
entire,
Yes. Yes.
adulthood
Yes.
raising children and
Yes.
my husband's been working his tail off
Yes.
leading a company and
Mm-hmm.
people and I'm like, I want to do something where I'm serving other people because I
Yes.
love to serve, but I am so passionate about health and I just was so passionate about getting to root cause of things so that the light bulb really went off after I saw my mom's journey. And so I was like, okay, I'm going in now. Like, I'm going to get my integrative health practitioner and I'm going to do it. And it's going to be easy and fun. And then I was like,
Right.
okay, you have to have this portal, this portal, this portal. You need to have a
Yeah, I
lead
know. You need
magnet.
apps.
You need to have a business account. I was like,
Yes, yes. I know. It's a
yeah,
lot.
it
It's a
was a
lot
lot,
that you have to do.
but you just
But
go
it was
in
your
and
mom.
yeah, I think it was my mom. And just knowing that I was going to be an empty nester and I wanted to,
Yes.
I, I told myself one of these days, I want to take my husband on a vacation and I want to pay for it.
Right. Right. Oh, I know. It's the best feeling in the world. It really is the
He
best
goes, why
feeling. I
don't you just
know.
start by taking me out to dinner? I was like, okay.
Or not being gassy. One of the two.
Or why don't you start by just paying for your peptides?
Yeah. Can you just pay for your peptide stack and your supplement stack
Well, and that's
and
the
your
other
tech
thing,
stack?
like, all of these tech things cost money. And
Yes.
I think that I was listening to your podcast about the pricing, and
Yeah.
I was like, you have to take that into account when you are listing your pricing, because
Yes.
I don't think a lot of people know what it takes on the back end to get that up and
Right.
going,
Yeah.
At least
No,
I
I have no
didn't.
idea.
I didn't.
No, we have no idea. We have no we don't know what other businesses go through. And even
Right.
if it's a service business like you think, "Oh, it's just her in front of me helping me." No, 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 no. There's so much, especially if you're gonna be online, right? I
Right.
mean, like you said, just all the things.
All
But,
the apps you have to pay for,
yes,
everything. That was
yes,
fun
it's a
doing my
lot.
taxes too this year. That was fun.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot to, like, keep up. That's why I keep everything on one business credit card, so I know every expense is on that. It makes it super easy. I know some people, like, fail to do that. They just, like,
Mm.
integrate it with a regular credit card. I'm like, "You have to."
Right.
"Oh, you were that? Oh, okay."
Girl, I
You
didn't know what
need
I
to
was doing.
separate it. I know.
I went in messy, and I'm still messy, but you know what? You learn as you go, and you just do it, and I think God really guides you through it too,
Yes. Mhm, mhm.
and
I
I don't
totally
think
believe that.
he wouldn't have nudged me to do this if I wasn't meant to do it.
I totally agree. I do, and what I think's beautiful about that is just when people tell me they feel a tug at their soul, that's when I'm always like, "Oh, I believe that's God telling you to tug at your soul." And then when you actually take steps in obedience of that, like, I think sometimes we have to look at it as an obedience too, where God gave you a gift, and He gave you this gift of being so open and, like, fun and real with your clients and, like, sharing your personal experience from your own health journey and your mom passing away, and, like, that's real, and I think that is just a way of being obedient to that in this life that God gave you and the gifts that He gave you to go forth with it. So I encourage everyone here, if you've been thinking about starting something, whether it be on the side, you have a full-time job and you want to start on the side. That's how I started many years ago, 26 years ago, started on the side with a friend. Or it can be like in this stage of life that Julie and I are in, where our kids are about to be leaving the house and we're sitting here going, what are we doing with our life? That happened to me when my oldest daughter, I sat at my kitchen table bawling, going, what am I doing with my life? I had my gift boutiques, but I was ready for something else. And it's a very pivotal moment in everyone's life when this happens.
It
And
is.
that's why you owe it to yourself and to God to take these steps. He's given you gifts and you need to go for it.
I think it really helps with the grieving process of being an empty nester, and I say grieving because it is like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
are losing
Right.
a little
Right.
bit of yourself, and so
Hmm.
people keep saying, "Oh my gosh, Maddie's graduating this year. What are you gonna do?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get all my portals in order and all of my
Yeah.
things. I'm gonna get my
Yes.
life
Get my
organized."
business together.
And that's the beauty also of having your own business is I wanna still be able to go and visit my kids, and what I'm doing right now allows for that because I can do it
Right.
anywhere I go.
Yes. Yes.
I thought about going back to school and getting my nursing degree because
Mm.
I wanted to go into functional medicine originally. And you have to go to nursing school and you got to do all the things. And I was like, I I don't want to be stuck at a place. Like I wanted a little more freedom, and I was blessed enough to have that opportunity to have the freedom too.
Yes. 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 What a blessing. Well, this has been an awesome conversation, Julie. How can people get in touch with you if they're interested in optimizing their health and feeling better and looking better and all that? What can they do?
Well, I've got a website and
Yes.
I am on Instagram daily, so they can follow me
Yes.
at
Okay.
Be Well with Julie, um,
Okay.
or
And I'll have
email
all the
me.
links below, by the
Okay.
way. Yes. And so you've got the free peptides playbook that everyone can sign up for below. And you can also book a discovery call with Julie for free. Is that right, Julie?
Yes.
They can
Oh yeah.
chat with you and
I have two different
yeah.
discovery calls. I have one for peptides and then one for my functional health coaching.
Okay. Okay. That's awesome.
A good one is the organic acid test. It's a nutrient test to test for like yeast overgrowth and bacterial overgrowth in the gut if you're having issues with gut health.
Yeah. That's amazing. Well, this is awesome. This has been so much fun, Julie. You're such an inspiration. I know you're going to help so many on their health journeys. And I'm just so in awe of you and all that you've done. And I wish you the very best.
Well,
I know
thank
you're
you
gonna be
so
super
much.
successful.
So much fun being on
It's
here.
a blast.
Now, this episode may be over, but our relationship does not have to end here. Head on over to KimberlyBrock.com, and yes, you can get more valuable information for your journey. And you know what? You don't need to go through this alone. I would love to help you. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye.